Okay, so good morning, everyone. So we are in live. So seems like the professor has confirmed me. I was in a live now. So I think anyone please post that in the comment section. By that we can proceed further. Are you able to see my screen? Unable to hear my voice?
Nah, penting gue lanjut juga. Saya super dengan sudah listrik.
Okay, thanks, Ram Karthik. Thanks for your confirmation. We can proceed further. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. We are entering into the third day AGENTVERSE Grand Challenge session. So, today we are going to see some new frameworks which is relevant to the agentic AI, so which are LangChain and Llama Index. So, we have discussed some of the prompt templates things and what are the different types of prompting we have over the um, like we have few shot, zero shot, and tree of thoughts and chain of thoughts like that. We have just had a overview of that, so we can just go with the coding as part of today. So I can just show everything. So how we can code, and even though apart from the agent verse, I will make you people to understand the code structure, and if you people are attending the interviews, if they are asking any questions relevant to the lang chain and asking you to create a simple agent on the spot over an interview process, I can give you with a small code, so small pattern of code. That code pattern will help you for building any kind of new agent. Okay, so for that any kind of new agent means how we can just say agent can be built in a single go means we are going to utilize a kind of system design principle. So we have a simple pattern, so we are going to utilize that pattern, and by utilizing the same, so we are going to change the prompt techniques and prompt templates. So for example, if I'm going to build an AI college assistant, so I need to make sure my prompt needs to be relevant to that college assistant. So if it is relevant to some other topics, we need to update the prompts according to it. So same like we can proceed further as part of the first go. So we can go with the prompt templates. So we had a theory session on this in the previous call. So, but in this call, we will try to work on the coding things. Okay, so for example, for the different types, we have zero shot, few shot, chain of thoughts, tree of thoughts, like that. We have on a multiple things. So we can just plan to create the same. Okay, so as the very first, I need to make you people so understand the code pattern. If you are trying to build any kind of zero shot, I'm just going to give a recap. So if you people are trying to create any kind of agent, prompt is the major flow. So for example, my goal is to build the extension means I need to go with the prompt as part of the problem which we are going to utilize. So same like I will be having a different code examples for each and everything for a few short and same as chain of thoughts and tree of thoughts. We can just go with simple single one by one. So I can parallelly start. So we have another topic today, which is an llama index. I will be explaining the theory first during that time, but as of now, so we can just go ahead with the LangChain's prompt templates. Fine. So I will be creating a new sheet and will be starting the code. You people please try to coordinate with me. So for example, if you parallelly going to type the code, you can also type it accordingly. So that's completely maybe a useful. And even the code which we are discussing right now, please try to make sure try I'm not making you people to memorize the things. Please try to understand. So if you understand the code pattern of single problem, then you can build any kind of agents. Okay, so any kind of agents in sense we can just change the templates by that it can work accordingly. Okay, so as part of the previous call, we have discussed within a Hugging Face API. So as for today, we are going with Grok. So if you people are parallelly working with me, so please try to open the Grok and try to create one API key. So I have just created as of today. So and named I can just show one thing. You can just go ahead with, for example, sample key, and we have a feature of expiration. You can just go with, I'm just going with the 7 days structure and submitting it, and it will give the API key. So I will be just pasting it. So by utilizing this API key, we people are going to have things. So here over the settings, you people may have the limit section. So, as I mentioned in the previous call, as of till August 8th or 18th, we have this Llama and Llama 3.1 models. It is actually this is a good model. So, but if after this decommissioning, so we people can just stick with OpenAI's GPT OSS, and same as if you are working with the coding and large reasoning, you can stick with the Quinn model. Okay, so and even though we have some of the models relevant to the speech to text and text to speech, even you people can utilize this. So as part of today's session, I will be utilizing the Grok, and most of the models I will be utilizing, so which is Llama 3.370b and then Llama 3.18b instant. Okay, so based on the task and based on the code structure I require, so I will be changing the models accordingly. So yeah, so we can start. So I will be naming this as AgentVerse session 3. Fine. So before starting with the code, I just explain the code structure with you people. Then we can manually type. Okay. So fine. So we are going to see the LangChain framework, which is a framework where it will be helpful for creating an AI agents. It is we have LangChain, LangGraph, Llama Index, like that. We have a different AI frameworks in place, but LangChain is the basic when if you people are trying to create an agents or anything, please try to stick with the LangChain as of now. If you are good with the LangChain and then code stitches, please try to upgrade to the LangGraph. Okay, so in a right now companies are utilizing the LangGraph and graph rag. So but if you need to know the basics, please stick with LangChain and first have a complete code architecture on this, and then we people can migrate to the LangGraph. Okay, so as part of today, we have some of the pip packages needs to be installed. So we are going to install the LangChain. It is a common complete frameworks package, and LangChain Grok. So we are going to utilize the Grok platform. So to utilize the LLMs from there. So I'm just installing a new package which is LangChain Grok, and we have some things like prompt templates, string output parser, and required stuff. So that can be covered in this LangChain community and then LangChain core. Okay, so if we people can just add a knowledge if you have already learning the LangChain. So we have some tool callings, agent workflows over the LangChain that will be covered in this package, which is LangChain community and then LangChain core. Okay, so and this is if you are from the AI, DS, and CS cluster people, you may understand this quite. So it is like, for example, if I am removing this, you can able to see here just the loading function of complete downloading. If you people are just clicking this, it will have a complete verbose outputs. Okay, so this is mentioned as the verbose outputs. So this can be removed if you people gone with q. Okay, quite, or else if you can also, if there is any new update came through, you can also go with hyphen capital U. So by that it will update the package if any new updates came. Okay, so I'm just going to install the same in my new sheet. So if you people are trying to go with, please try to install the same. So we are installing LangChain Grok for connecting with the Grok platform, and LangChain community and code for having some of the prompt templates, string output parser, and same as tool calling. Okay, I'm proceeding with the run, so it may take some time. So we can come back to the same session. Okay. As part of the first thing, we are utilizing the zero shot example. So you people can just try to understand this code architecture once. So if you people are done with this, you people can understand the entire thing. Okay. Okay. So seems like this has been done. Fine. So I thought this is there is no notification session. Fine. Okay, so just try to understand the LangChain's code pattern. First, we are importing the OS to have the environmental variable for a Grok API key, and then from you can see here what are all the package we are installing over the pip packages. We are calling as an import functions, right? So from LangChain Grok, we are importing the chat grok. Chat grok means right now we people are going to build a kind of AI agents which will be gives a chat completion answers, right? So for example, if I'm running this code, it will be in a chat way. So if I'm asking one question, it is replying in a chat. So for that, we are importing one kind of package which is chat grok. So if your people are going with the text to speech or audio, so or video based things, you need to change the different packages. As part of now, we are going with the chat based things. So I'm importing the chat grok. Okay. So then from LangChain core from here, so from LangChain core, we are importing the prompt template. This is the major one. For example, for building an AI agent, we need to provide a agent's goal, right? So for providing an agent's goal, we need to declare the prompt template variable. So by that, we can provide our complete agent's goal. Okay. So and finally, in the we have the string output parser. In a previous session, I have mentioned we have just created a Python step function, an additional function as a work to extract a string-based content itself, right? So I have just shown. So if your people are migrating to the LangChain, there will be a parser named as string output parser. So where it helps us to provide the entire results in a good way. Okay. So for example, I can just go with one of the example. Okay, for example, I can just stick with what is cloud computing. Okay, so I'm just sharing this information to the LLM, whatever the LLM it may be, or else we are utilizing the grok right here, right? So I'm asking a question, what is cloud computing? So what it will do, it will go to the internet and fetch all the datas. For example, few people go to the Okay. So you people can able to see an entire results. So even we have a Reddit examples, and even some may provide in the Insta reel or an YouTube video. So or different kind of websites. So whatever it may be, right? So for example, it may fetch all the data from the internet, and it will needs to consolidate and provide a best answer. So for example, I'm going with the additional constraint. What is cloud computing? Explain in 250 words. Okay. So it needs to summarize an entire data into only 250 words, consisting of only 250 words, right? So it fetch all the data and consolidate and provide the best answer in means of 250 words, right? For this customization and required things, we are utilizing string output parser. Okay. So AI may how the workflow tracks means Q1 uh, internet tool calling, answer collection, LLM response, LLM response, or can go in LLM training, LLM response to string output parser, then output. Okay, so okay, so if you are asking a question, what is cloud computing? It will go to the internet and fetch all the data, and it will collect the answers and provide to the LLM which we people are utilizing. So it will consolidate all the details, and as per of our condition or agent's goal, it will summarize the data and prepare one of the responses, and that will be provided to the string output parser. For example, what is cloud computing? We have some other content over an Insta. It may have some of the hashtags, emojis, and relevant stuffs, right? So we need not to get that relevant stuff in my output. If you people are going with the additional constraint as no emojis, strictly no emojis, I need a basic example like that means. So this string output parser takes place there and provides the answer in a well furnished format in a grammatical way and summarizing it to the limited words. So that will be covered by the string output parser. Then from here, one kind of answer has been generated that will be provided as an output. Okay, so this is the basic outcome of this three import functions. We have imported the chat grok for initializing our LLM, and prompt template for providing the goal of an agent, and then string output parser to prepare a best answer. Okay, so this is the packages which we have in place. So what I can do, just try to understand. I will be parallelly typing the code in that. So you people can also, if you have a system in place, you can just try with me. Okay. So I'm importing the OS as the first part. So you can just, if any kind of problem you are working, try to initialize first. Initialization, import OS from LangChain. You can able to see here from LangChain grok. I'm importing chat grok. If people can more focus on this case sensitive things, please have that in the correct typo. So from LangChain core dot prompts, we are importing the prompt template. Okay. So and what we have seen in the last LangChain core dot output parsers. We are importing the string output parser. Fine. So this is the basic initialization which required to prepare an AI agent utilizing the LangChain. Okay. So if you people also parallelly working, please try to complete till this. So we have initialized the platform now for building an AI agent. Okay. So then what we have done, so we have imported all the things from the installation packages. We have imported the required stuffs, and after that importing, we need to utilize it one by one, right? So next we have done with our initialization. Now the second part is configuration. Okay, so we need to configure our API key, and then we need to initialize our LLM, which kind of LLM we people are going to utilize, and what is our agent's goal and required steps. So this comes under the configuration steps. As part of first one, what we are going to do, we are going to initialize our API key. Okay, so I'm just mentioning this as configuration. Sorry, configuration. We have imported the OS, so I'm going with os dot environ. I'm giving a name as grok API key. Okay, so if you people have prepared or get the API key from here, please, that's fine. If not yet, you can just open the console dot, or else if you are new to this, so grok API key. If you click that, you can able to see the grok API section. Please open that and please try to log in with one of the Google account. And after that, so you can just create a new API key. You can give any kind of name and just go with an expiration, and then please get submitted, and it will be created one of the API key for your things. Okay, so I have taken already. I'm utilizing one of my keys. You people don't utilize my key. Okay, so try to create one of the key from your grok account, and please utilize that. So os.environ grok API key I have provided with my grok API. Okay, so as part our first configuration for initializing the API key has been done. Next step, we are initializing the or configuring the LLM. Okay. So what we have done so far, so we have an import OS. For that, we have completed our configuration. At the next part, we have the chat grok. So that is mean we need to configure our LLM, right? So I'm just giving a new name as LLM as a parameter, and I'm initializing that short chat grok, and I'm going to utilize the model. Go to this section. You can able to access the models from here. You can just click the settings, and over the limits you can able to see the model names. Okay, you can just copy this directly. So this is a kind of an identifier you people can utilize for initializing your LLM. Okay, so as part of now, I need kind of large answer. So I'm utilizing the 70 billion versatile. If you need a constraint answer, but in the faster seconds, you can go ahead with the 3.18B instant model. Okay, so I'm just utilizing the 70 billion architecture model, and then I'm going with the temperature as zero. So by that, it will go with an neutral way. Okay, so we have done with our initialization and we have done with our configuration. We have our grok API key. By utilizing this grok API key, our model llama 3.3 model can be called for our agent workflows. Okay, so we are entering into our main code base our agent workflow. Okay, so I'm just going with this. So as part of first example, I will be explaining the zero shot example. So you can have this. We have the next two stuffs as prompt template, and another one is string output parser, right? So from here, I'm utilizing the prompt template. So here I'm just giving a input variables as instruction, and this is a template. It means it is a goal for an AI agent. Okay, so for example, right now it is going to be act as a Python programmer expert, and whatever the code, what are the question you people are going to provide, so it needs to give the Python code. That is the workflow. So, and I can also parallelly explain what is mean by zero shot. I have already mentioned zero shot. You can just take that, replace a shot with example. It means as zero examples. Okay, so I'm just directly providing one of the question. I'm just not providing any kind of references or any links or any models or informations or data sets to be trained on that and needs to provide the answer. I'm directly giving an agent goal as a Python programmer, and it needs to provide the Python code for the question which have been shared with the agent. So, and I'll directly giving a one of the question, right? So write a Python program to check whether the number is prime or not. Okay, so it will directly create the code without any example. So we are saying this as zero shot example. Okay, so zero shot means we are asking the LLM to provide the answer without providing any kind of references or examples or relevant steps. Okay, so as part of this is a basic example utilizing the LangChain for zero shot. Okay, so I'm parallelly explaining the prompt engineering types and same as with the LangChain framework. Okay, so we will directly go with the next stuff, code based on agent workflow. So here we will be working with prompt. I'm just creating a new variable as prompt, and we are utilizing the prompt template. So in this, I'm going to give a new parameter as input variables. Okay, so input variable, it is a place where we are going to provide our question or I'm just mentioning that as instruction here. So what are the question or required thing you need to ask with your AI agent, that will be provided in the name of instruction. Okay, so you can go with a different name also. I'm just going with the instruction. And template, this is the place where we are giving the agent's goal. Okay, so I'm going to provide my agent's workflow. I can just copy the same, what it mean. So you are a expert Python programmer. Write only the Python code for the following task. Whatever the question you are going to provide, so it's a simple question also. It will understand. It needs to work on the Python. So because that is an AI agent's complete goal, right? So it needs to write the code, only the Python code. So by that, whatever the question you are going to provide, it will just provide the code itself. Okay, we are making the AI agent to work for a specific task. So the task will be given as an instruction that will be called during the time of input which we are going to provide, and it needs to provide as Python code, right? So that will be shared in the output. Fine. So this is the goal of an agent we have determined right now. So next we have configured or initialized our prompt template. The very last we have is string output parser. So I will be going with that output parser. I'm initializing a new variable as parser, and I'm okay. So I have initialized that. Okay, sir. Actually, you people, you are just initializing everything. How it may go in a sequential flow. So lang chain, you can have a word lang chain, right? So it is going to work in a sequential process. For example, what needs to be done first and needs to be next second and then needs to be third. So like that, we need to make our things that will be named as LCL chain. Okay, LCEL chain in LangChain. I can just show that thing with you. You can see LangChain expression language. So this is the one as of now in the latest technique. So they are going with the new things. During the previous code, during the previous updates, we have the chain dot run. Okay, so if you are planning to run your AI agent, you need to go with chain dot run. But with the latest update, we have that in the name of chain dot invoke. Okay, so we are invoking that chain by providing the instruction to the agent, that by that it will create an answer. Okay, so create an answer, whatever the agent workflow needs to be done, that will be done over that chain dot invoke. Okay, so you can just think like we are just printing the result, right? So like that we are having that chain dot invoke over the lang chain. Okay, so we have initialized everything. We have imported all the stuff and we have configured all the thing. We have a chat graph. We just initialize the LLM, and we have a prompt template. We have initialized the goal, and we have a string output parser. We have initialized that too. Okay. So right now we are going to create a chain. Okay. So we are creating a new LCL chain for make this agent work. Okay, I'm just going with the new name as chain, and first it needs to call the prompt. Okay, So you can see here we have the prompt, so it needs to go in a sequential flow. As very first it needs to go with the prompt, and then second as LLM, and third as parser. Okay, so you can just take a flow. So for example, we are just going to we are going to have a chain dot invoke in the next step. If we are going to run that, it needs to check the prompt first. By that, the agent will understand its goal. So it needs to act as a Python programmer. It needs to provide only the Python code for the instruction what will be provided, right? So we have the thing right now in the next step. So and then after getting the goal of an agent, it goes to the LLM workflow. We have the Llama 3.3 model. So by that, we what are the question or what are the instruction that will be passed to me. So that will be utilizing this model as a LLM. That will be covered on that. So I have already mentioned over this notepad. So LLM, and then LLM response will be provided to the string output parser. From this string output parser, that response will be taken as a final answer, right? So you can see the same here prompt. By that, it has a goal and it goes to the LLM and finalizes the LLM, and it generates the answer and provide that answer to the parser. By that, it will check all the responses and create a consolidated fine-tuned response, and that will be extracted as the final output. Okay, so here we have the chain structure created, and we are creating a task, agent task. I'm just giving a name as response. By that, chain dot invoke may takes place. Okay, so chain dot invoke may takes place, but we have doesn't provided our instruction till now, so I'm just providing the instruction here. Okay, so I'm going to provide a write a Python program for a factorial, or else what we can do. Hmm, check, or else wait, I can just take the same example from here too. So we have a prime or not example. I'm just pasting the same here. Okay. So what it need, it will start the agent task. By that, the instructions has been provided. The first it needs to check with the LLM. Next to the prompt, and next with the LLM. So by that, this instruction will be infused here, and it understands that and it works on the instruction, and the LLM can generate the new answer for that by utilizing the API key, and that will be provided to the parser, and parcel provides the finalized answer that will be stored in the chain, and we are utilizing the chain dot invoke here. By that, the answer will be stored in the response. Okay, finally we are printing the response, we are getting the answer. I'm printing the response right now. Response. Okay, I think I have done everything. I can just run the code. Okay, you people can see now. So a small kind of an agent has been created to write a Python code for whatever the question you people are going to ask. As of now, we have gone with the prime or not, or else if we are changing the Python program to write a Python program code for a do some problem in lead code. I'm not sure. So we have not provided any kind of agent code here to provide the lead code based answers, but we can check. Yeah, so it has been provided. So this is a do some problems code, and we can also have an example usage also. Okay, if anyone have any kind of doubts or questions over this, you can post in the YouTube live chat. By that I can explain or help with you people. So This is a basic example for creating an AI agent, a basic core pattern. So you can think this as a system design or a system architecture. So my kind of planning is to make you people not only for this hackathon and also for preparing to your AI interviews upcoming in your placements. Okay, so if any interviewer going to ask in the on spot, you need to create an agent by utilizing any kind of an AI framework. You can stick with this. You need to install all the packages relevant to that. You can initialize that, and you need to configure things. You need to configure the chat grok, prompt template, and string output parser. Create a chain, and then you need to provide the instruction. By that, it will create. Okay, so you can just try to understand. So this code pattern, do not memorize, but if you get the things clear, you can able to work on this code pattern in a flow. So this will be a basic example for building an AI agent. Okay, and as part of now we are covering the zero shot example too. I can just mention that as, sorry, zero shot example means we are asking our LLM to provide or generate answers without providing any examples, references. The answer generated is directly from the model's knowledge. Okay, so this is the zero shot example, and we are asking our LLM to provide or generate the answers without providing any example or references. So, whatever the answer it has been generated, that solely belongs to the model's knowledge, pre trained knowledge. Okay, fine. So, if you people have any questions on that, please post the same. I will be providing around 5 minutes of time. If you people are logged with your systems, please try to run this code, or if you have understood everything the score pattern, please try to have a look first, and then please try in your system without seeing my code base. Okay, so please try to get the API key from your account. I'm just masking in mean of X. Okay, I will be going with a timer of 3 to 5 minutes. We can just go with 3 minutes of time. I can just show my code too. If you have any questions or anything, you can post in the live chat. I will be waiting till 9:53. If you have any questions, please post there. Okay, so we have one of the question. What are the things I needed to be aware when I'm training the RAG like chunks? Training the RAG like chunks from text. Okay, so the fine, I can explain that too. Just a second, I can just copy that question from that. Okay, so for this, what you can do, Suri Prakash. So first thing you need to clean that text. Okay, so for example, whatever the things we people are going to take. Okay, so for example, if you are taking any kind of data from the data sets or from Kaggle or whatever maybe, we are following some kind of data engineering principles, right? We are cleaning and pre-processing data cleaning process like that. You need to clean that text, so and try to uh, split that into chunk format. So for by utilizing any kind of embedding models from the Hugging Face or anything. So for before going with an embeddings, try to add a overlap first. So by that, each and every context will not be left. Okay. So for example, adding a overlap is helpful for not losing or missing any context from the .txt file. So this is an overlap function. What you can do by that, the chunk format will be covered all kind of context or all the words in your .txt file, and then you can go with the embedding model. Whatever the embedding model you can utilize from hf.co and create the embeddings and try to store that in the vector dbs. So by utilizing any RAG frameworks, we can also have the llama index. So I will be explaining that in the next. So we are utilize any kind of RAG frameworks like llama index to retrieve the relevant context for the Q1 asked. Okay, so this will be a best structure. You need to be aware when while you are trying training the RAG like chunks. RAG training the RAG. Okay, so like chunks, it's simple different thing. So and instead of this also, I have mentioned that OKF format, right? So Google's OKF format. Please try to make sure instead of training with the TXT file, you can go ahead with the Markdown code. Okay, so it will be a basic knowledge format for all the file structures. By that, it will understand easily. Okay, so this will be the answer for your Q1. I will be pasting the same in the comment chat. By that, you can also access. Okay, so that will be mentioned in the two answers and two partitions you people can utilize. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can just post in the comment section. I can, while I'm giving a specific time for you people to work on the code, I will be checking the questions and sharing the answers. Okay, so as part of the first, we have done with the zero shot example. Parallelly, we have the same code base, but we are going to change the patterns. Okay, prompt patterns itself to have the different prompt templates too. Okay, I can just go with the next one, which is I have two type of examples in this. I'm just asking a kind of a translation based example. Translate good evening, how are you to Tamil. By that, it will directly respond to my question, right? So in this, we are not going to provide any kind of examples how the Tamil words work and how it needs to be converted from for this each and every words. So we are just directly giving a question without any examples or references. By that, it will be providing an answer to me, right? So this is another kind of example for zero shot. I will be going with the next one, which is few short prompting. We are going to utilize the same code pattern, but we are simply changing the instruction and the uh, question. So you can have a look here. So instead of an instruction in this previous example, you can see we have given that as a name of instruction in an input variable. Right now we are giving in the name of review. Okay, so I'm just going with a few short. It is a example prompt template type, so where you are going to provide the few examples before the actual instruction. So for example, it needs to understand the code base or references what you have shared. By that understanding that specific things, it is going to provide the answers based on that. What are the questions you are going to ask, utilizing the code pattern, understanding the examples, and after that it will be providing an answers to you. Okay, so this is a difference between the zero shot and few shot, where if zero shot there is no examples provided, it's completely relies on the model's knowledge. It is also relies on the model knowledge, but we are providing some of the examples to work on that specific pattern. Okay, so we can see here we are making our AI model LLM to train on the specific prompt goal. You are an AI assistant that classifies customer reviews into one of the following categories. Directly, if you ask any question, it doesn't work for our expectation, right? So have only three parameters. One is positive, negative, and neutral. Instead, you have this in your mind, but you are not going to provide that as a goal to the agent. By that, it will not give a correct answer. It will randomly check the question and just provide the random answers, right? So that is meant to be as a LLM's hallucination. So by that, to reducing that hallucination, we are providing the more examples. By that, it will specifically work to that specific goal. Okay, so we are making our AI assistant to classify the customer reviews into one of these following categories. By that, whatever the question you are going to provide, so by that it will just provide in this three parameters itself. Okay, and we are providing some of the examples to review. The laptop is fast, lightweight, and excellent battery life. So it is a kind of example for sentiment analysis. So I'm just providing fast, lightweight, excellent. So by that it will needs to understand and provide the sentiment as positive. The food was cold and service was very slow. So it means it needs to be served as hot, and same as it needs to service that very fast of time, right? So then it is a negative kind of sentiment. So and we have a third parameter, which is a product arrived on time and works as expected. So we are just providing a satisfied result, not an overwhelming response. So by that we are mentioning the sentiment as neutral. Okay, so here we have the three examples. We are making our AI model to learn our code structure. So it has a enough knowledge on sentiment analysis, but we are expecting to provide an answers as part of my expectations, right? So now classify the following review. In this review, you are going to provide any kind of question. The camera quality is amazing, but the battery drains quickly. So by that, we are providing in a positive way also, and we are providing in a negative way. So by that, it provides a result as neutral. Okay, so you can just have a look here. We are just changing the techniques, but the code structure remains the same. Okay, so and I'm also changing some of the models too. So in this, so and my kind of suggestion, if you people are trying to work on the, for example, if you have an project, we have one of the system design concept, that is loose coupling. Okay, so instead of relying on AI things, so AI frameworks, the interviews may expect a question relevant to the system design. Okay, so I had a call recently on yesterday or day before yesterday. So one student from Ashishwar contacted me. He has a interview for Zoho, I think. He has mentioned Zoho who's coming to the college. So he has asked me what needs to be prepared. So my kind of suggestions is whatever the interview people are going to attend, be strong in your specific domain, what you people are preparing for the interview, such as if you belongs to AIDS and AIML, you can needs to be very strong on this Python, machine learning and relevant steps. If you belongs to the common core structure or core CS cluster, you need to be very strong on Java or C++. What are the things DSA, OOPS concepts like that, right? So instead of all the things, you people are needs to very sure on this system design thinkings. So for example, one of the system design concept in this I need to explain is loose coupling. Okay, loose coupling means, for example, even this code not follows the loose coupling system design, but I'm just sharing this with you. Okay, so here we are importing the langchain grok, which only relays for the chat grok. So for example, we are just creating this code base entirely needs to work on grok, right? So for example, you are entering into an IT and you people are creating the chat grok, creating a code base with chat grok alone. During that time, your company is going to work with grok platform. That's fine. At certain time or 1 or 2 years later, the people are needs to migrate their platform from grok into OpenAI or Gemini or Claude 2. Okay, so they are converting their platform from one to another. That may be an hectic task. Okay, so why? Because each and every code contains the chat grok, and we have a import functions with the grok templates. By that, it is an hectic task. We need to check everything, and we need to check one each and every platforms, and we need to completely upgrade our code base from this scratch, right? So for that, this loose coupling system design concept may work. Okay, so instead of relying on this, what we need to do, we can customize all the things in one of the platform. I can just show. I just created this thing, so this will be helpful. I will be sharing this sheet with you people. I have shared the drive link, so I've asked the professor to share with you also. Mm. You can see here single source of configuration. We can change the providers here. So we are just creating a new parameter named as provider and grok. If the provider is grok, we need to utilize this model and we need to utilize this API key. Or else elif, we are going to the open router, or else you can also add another elif and we can change the providers. Okay, by that what will we do means we have a provider here. By calling this provider in our upcoming code base, by that it will respond directly. Okay, so for example, if your provider is set as grok, it needs to check with this model and utilize the API key and provide the answer. If the provider is set as open router, by that it will follows the open routers model and then and their API key. People can try to understand these things, right? So I'm just conveying the same. Whatever then a model you can utilize, by that in this one single place you need to change the provider's name, and if you have a new configuration step, you can add those in this provider section. By that it will directly work with this in an entire code base. Okay, but in this code we are just infusing the chat grok as a default provider. By that each and every code needs to be changed when you are migrating the platform. So by that, my kind of suggestion to you people, while even for your agent-verse competition, you can also go with this loose coupling architecture. Okay, so by that, if any kind of person or interviewer ask this kind of question to you, you can just say I can utilize this loose coupling architecture. By that I can able to change the a frameworks from one to another in a simple go. Instead of going with an entire code base, I can simply go with this specific file format and change the configuration. By that my system goes to an up with a new framework or a new provider. Okay, so this is the kind of concept I need to share. Apart from that, okay, so this is the another example for few shot. I will be utilizing the same code. So I have done this code in previous, so I'm just copying that and pasting here, and I'm just changing the prompt template itself. Okay, instead of wasting the entire time on coding them again from scratch, I'm just copying the thing here. Right now we have a example for few shot, and in this we have an instruction. So I can change that to review because we have a pattern named as review, and I will be changing that the response section while running. One second, sorry. So I have masked the API key. I can just update that. Mm. You can see here the sentiment is neutral. Reason the review contains both positive statement and same as negative statements. Okay, so while balancing out the statement sentiments, it is making it neutral. Fine. So this is an example for few shot. Okay, by utilizing the same LangChain framework, short example where we are providing the goal to the agents with few examples to understand the user's expectation and train on that, and providing the answers to the new question accordingly. Fine. So this is the few short example where we are providing a goal to the agents with few examples to understand the user expectation and train on that. And finally, if you ask any kind of question, it needs to check with the examples and what are the parameters we have, and it will be trained on that and going to provide the answers accordingly. Okay. So this is the second template. We have prompt template, and we are moving on to the next one. So I have another example too here, which is an helpful translator. I'm just providing some of the examples with English and Tamil, and I'm going to give what are you doing as a new instruction, somewhat what it has been understood, so it is going to provide the things. Okay, here I need to share one thing. You can see here, what are you doing, நீங்க என்ன பண்றீங்க, like that we need to ask, right? So but நீங்கள் என்ன செய்வது, like that it will be provided as an answer, right? So in this place, what you need to have, what you need to do means you need to go with the tool calling function. Okay, so here we have the next concept, same like as part of the code we have the simple architecture like this. So I will be explaining a new concept here, utilizing the SLM and LLM workflows. Okay, for example, user ask question from question in English, it needs to change from English to Tamil. Okay. So what are the question you people are going to ask in English? it needs to convert into Tamil language. Okay, fine. So in this, we are utilizing SLM, and SLM is fine. So if you are going to build that as a chatbot, we need an LLM support too, right? So for example, for SLM, I'm utilizing one of the translator model, okay, from Tamil to English, English to Tamil, bilingual way. So I will be taking one of the SLM. So for example, I have prepared one of the model, okay. You can just assume I have prepared En to Ta. So by this work is whatever the question it has, it will be taken in English, and it needs to provide the answer in Tamil, okay. So and we have an LLM. We are utilizing the line chain framework, where we have two tool calling feature. Okay, so here we are going to use this SLM as a new tool. For example, we have the chain structure as prompt, right? So it next goes to the LLM and parser. This is our workflow, right? So what we are going to do here in this prompt, at the very second, it needs to call the SLM. Okay, SLM's response needs to go to the LLM, and LLM figures out and provides that to the parser, and the final output will be called and in the means of chain dot invoke. Okay, so why we are utilizing the SLM here means we can get a precise answer. So you can see here in this place we have the some discrepancies, right? So நீங்கள் என்ன செய்வது, it's not an accurate word for what are you doing, right? So by that, if you are utilizing a SLM as a tool, as a tool calling function, by that it will call the SLM and gets the finalized answer, and it will be provided to LLM, and LLM can actually works as a chatbot. Okay, for example, I'm just creating this as a chatbot, English to Tamil translator as a chatbot means. So that will be helpful, okay, during that time when you are preparing this. So this is a tool calling additional functionality which we can be infusing in the lang chain. Okay, so the third one which we have is chain of thought example. Okay, so we have another one type itself. I think we are seeing the prompt templates with the same code base, so don't take this as a boring session. So after completing this, we will be shifting to the new topic, which is another framework, which is llama index. Okay, so in this, at the very Yeah. So in this third type, we are going to see what chain of thought as a new prompt template. Okay. So chain of thought means instead of directly answering the question, we are asking the model to show its reasoning step by step. Okay. So for example, whatever the question you people are going to share, it needs to understand the code base, and it needs to reason that in a step by step manner. By that, it will next provide the finalized answer. Okay, so where it will be very useful means it will be useful in math, logical reasoning, and multi-step problems. This will be already covered in the theory part, which has been in the last session, and just directly go with the basic examples here. Okay, you can see here, this is this common code base which we are utilizing. The same, we are importing the chat grok, prompt template, and string output parser. We are configuring the chat grok, and then the prompt template, and finally with the string output parser. Okay, so you can just check with the agent's goal here, the agent template. You are an expert reasoning assistant. Analyze the problem carefully, explain your reasoning in clear sequence, finally provide the final correct answer. You can go with the, this is a kind of templates or specific words you people can check with Gemini. Okay, for example, I can open Gemini now. I need a prompt for creating a image for AI agent walkthrough. You can just see here we are just providing a prompt. In this, some of the keywords are be useful. Okay, if we have a keyword as translate, what are the word you are going to provide? That is a template. This has been utilized in the previous times, but right now we are completely going with our NLP based questions. Even though if you are going to ask the question in Tamil, it can understand by using of NLP, and it converts into their model's knowledge and provide the answers, right? But during in the previous time, we have each and every keyword. If you are just going to provide that keyword, it will be generating that. Okay, so you can see I just provided I need a prompt for creating an image for AI agent workflow, right? So I'm just copying the same, generate a single image. By utilizing this keyword, it will directly start generating an image. Okay, so you can see here I just asked the prompt, I need a prompt. So by that we have a parameters, each and every word stands for some of the meaning. So some meanings, for example, here I'm just giving a word as generate, by that it generating the image, right? I can just show where we have a code. Okay, so you can see here we have a name as clear sequence. So even you can also go with the step by step. By that, the model can understand to provide the answers in a step by step manner. Okay, finally provide the correct answer. We have a new input variable as question. I'm just posting here, and yeah, just providing the question here. All programmers know Python. Ravi is a programmer. Can we conclude that Ravi knows Python? So simple ஒரு கொஸ்டின் கேட்குறோம். என்ன அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, எல்லா ப்ரோக்ராமருக்கும் பைத்தான் தெரியும். ரவியும் ப்ரோக்ராமர் தான். பட் ரவிக்கு பைத்தான் தெரியுமா? How you are going to explain? So this is a kind of a reasoning question. So you can see here we asked it to provide the answers in a clear sequence, right? So by that, what it can do, so it first understand the given statement. We have two statements. This is a kind of step which we can just say this as a verbose outputs, or else for this also I can just show one of the example. I can just open the Claude. First, then respond. You can see here this is a straightforward two problem request, so I will provide a clear solution and walk through examples rather than teaching any tools. So by that you can just try to understand. So it is a verbose output where it has been thinking or model thinking, right? So the same way you can see here we asked the Llama 3.18p instant. First, as the very first step, it understands the given problems, then identify the relationship between the statements and applying the principle of universal instantiation, and then provide the conclusion. And yes, we can conclude that Ravi knows Python. This is because the universal statements says that as all programmers know Python. So by that, Ravi is also a kind of programmer. So we are concluding that as Ravi knows Python. Like that, இப்போ உங்களுக்கு வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா So step by step manner, so each and one step has a specific kind of understanding, so how model understand the things and how it is going to provide the answers. So அது வந்து உங்களுக்கு கொடுத்திருக்கு இல்லையா. So this is meant as chain of thought examples. Okay sir, why you are uh, each and every prompt templates ரொம்ப deep dive பண்ணா சொல்றீங்க அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, you need to understand this prompt template as this is very important. Why? Because if you are going to build any kind of AI agent, it needs to relay under this any kind of prompt templates. For example, உங்களுக்கு வந்து இப்போ நீங்கள் கோடிங் பேஸ்ட் அசிஸ்டன்ஸ் பில்ட் பண்ணுறீங்க அப்படின்னா, you need to stick with the chain of thought prompts. So why? Because it understand the problem clearly and provide the answers. Okay, so even I have just built one of the project in a recent, so which is a coding agent. So I was doing my MBA in Anna University right now. So I have built one of the agent, same like the notebook LM. Okay, so notebook LM has some of the for example, I can also show that to you people. Notebook LM has some of the stuff, so and we have some of the relevant limits too. So I will be just posting all my questions and all my code bases, references, and everything. But it is reaching some of the limits at very short time. Okay, so by that what I have done, so I have built one of an agent where it can directly access my code base from here. So even we have, if I'm just directly clicking here, I have an extension. Okay, so by utilizing the developer mode, it understands all the codes from here and extract that in a means of md file, and it will create that as a knowledge base. Okay, rag மாதிரி உங்களுக்கு knowledge base build ஆயிடும். By utilizing that in means of chatbot, I can directly ask some of the questions. For example, if I'm preparing for my semesters or upcoming way internals or some of the MCQ based tests, if I'm directly post any kind of question there, it will generate the answer by checking from the rack based knowledge base. Okay, instead of directly relies on the internet knowledge. ஏன் இதை வந்து நான் பில்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கான மெயின் ரீசன் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, Anna University syllabus is for the recent MBA is 2021 regulation. Okay, so they are following the predominant previous text author books. So அதில் இருக்க author based answers மட்டும்தான் they are considering, while we people are utilizing directly. So இப்போ நம்ம நார்மலாக ஏதாவது கொஸ்டின் கேட்குறோம் அப்படின்னா, செக் வித் அன் இன்டர்நெட் அண்ட் ப்ரொவைட் த லேட்டஸ்ட் ரிசல்ட்ஸ், ரைட். ஸோ இப்போ அந்த ஆன்சர்ஸ் நம்ம இது பண்ணுறோம் அப்படின்னா, தே ஆர் மென்ஷனிங் திஸ். So you need to stick with the answers relevant to the Anna University books which we has been shared. So இப்போ எனக்கு MCQ based questions கேட்கும்போது, if I'm just checking with the chat GPT and providing the answer to that, it is saying this is a wrong answer. So I need to stick with the book's answer, right? And the bookல இருக்க ஆன்சருக்கு இது பண்ணணுன்றனால I will be making a knowledge base for my complete MBA's code base. So அதுக்கு நான் வச்சு நான் ட்ரெயின் பண்ணும்போது, if I have kind of basic MCQs or need to share, or even I can also build that in a means of flipbooks or also flashcards or build panikla. So while I'm going into my semester, I can utilize that. So instead of completely relying on the new era of technologies, we can just build that with our rack based knowledge base. Okay, so I think Suri Prakash, you also asking about the rack things. If you are planning to utilize, I was utilizing a quadrant vector DB. Quadrant, if you people required, you can also utilize this. Okay, so we have the vector DB session on as a next session actually. So during that time we will be discussing with Fayaz and same as Chroma DB. Okay, and instead of that we have the Pinecone, quadrant, and relevant Mileverse or Milverse, I think so. So we have another stuffs also. Different kind of vector DBs are there, but as part of our code base, we are following the Fayaz and Chroma DB. Actually, Fayaz is not a vector DB; it is a kind of searching, sentence similarity based thing. But we are utilizing in the vector DB concepts too. Okay, so as part of chain of thought example, we have this. I will be just changing. You can also have here. I'm just go completely copying my code base. I'm utilizing the same structure. If you people, you can also utilize, understand the code pattern from here, and you can utilize based on the prompt techniques. ஒரு code base நீங்க தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டீங்க அப்படின்னா நீங்க interviews attend பண்ணும்போது whatever the prompt templates the people or interviewer are going to ask, you can just needs to change the template and change the input variable with the relevant names, and இங்க கீழ வந்து நீங்க கொடுக்கும்போது it will provide the answers. Okay, so it will generate the answers accordingly. As part of here, I'm just changing to my chain of thought example. So where I have a question, it needs to provide in a chain of thought based answer. Okay, so you can see here it understand the concept, and we have a step-by-step classification 1 2 3 4 4 step வந்திருக்கு. By that we are getting a finalized answer. Okay, so this is a basic example for chain of thought. Okay, I can add the text here. Chain of thought. In this, they are asking the LLM to send the question in a detailed step-by-step manner, step-by-step classification, and asking to provide the finalized answer for the given shell. Okay, so this is the example or a small kind of definition for chain of thought, and we have an entire around 20 25 plus prompt techniques, but I'm just sticking with the major four ones, which is zero, few, and chain of thoughts, and we have another step as tree of thought. Okay, so this is an advanced reasoning, so where we are providing the means of step, and for example I can directly copy this and paste here, can explain the same. You can see here we are going to provide our input variable in means of question. So if a pen costs of 10 and I buy 3 pens and one notebook of 20, how much do I pay in total? This is a very basic example, and I'm asking to generate three different reasoning paths to solve the problem. In the question நீங்க கொடுத்தாலும், as the very first step, it needs to go with three different reasoning paths to solve the problem, and that each path ஓட correctness check பண்ண சொல்றோம், and we are asking to choose the best path and to ask the provide the final answer. Okay, so chain of thoughts ku tree of thoughts ku enna difference அப்படின்னா, so here we are just having a step by step reasoning and directly providing the answer, right? So இங்க வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா completely there is only one step. For example, ஒரு iteration அப்படின்ற மாதிரி சொல்லலாம், but you can see here we have three different iterations. இதே மாதிரி ஒர்க் ஃப்ளோ த்ரீ பேட்டர்ன்ஸாக நடக்கும், 1 2 3, அந்த த்ரீல எது பெஸ்டான ஆன்சர் அப்படின்னு கேட்குறோம். as of in this first iteration we are concluding the thing and we have one answer, right? ஸோ இதே மாதிரி டிஃப்ரெண்ட் பேட்டர்ன்ல இன்னொரு இது கிரியேட் பண்ணி நோன்னு சொல்லலாம், தேர்ட் ஒரு இது ஜென்ரேட் பண்ணி நியூட்ரல்னு சொல்லலாம், and we are consolidating the three responses into a one, அதோட கரெக்ட்னஸும் செக் பண்ணிட்டு we are finalizing the answer. Tree of thought. Chain means a one single chain, tree means a multiple chain. Okay, so this is a basic example. So you can see here we have a reasoning path one, and we have actually this is a basic question, it goes with the same answer for everything. Why? Because 10 cost it completely 30 and one notebook in 20, so it will provide an answer as 50, right? So if we have a different question which have the different perspectives, you can post the question here. By that we have a three different reasonings. By that you can have an evaluation and we can go with the reasoning path. You can see here the best path is both all the three. So if we have a best question for this kind of thing, we will get a best answer. Okay, fine. So tree of thought means simply we can say as multiple COT templates. Okay, COT means chain of thoughts. Multiple COT templates and finalizing the best response from the COT templates and providing the final answers. Okay, so this is the basic example for tree of thoughts. Okay, we have a multiple COT templates and finalizing the best one to provide the best answer. Okay, so this is the next example as part of the prompt templates. Okay, so from today's perspective till now, what we have covered means what is LangChain and LangChain workflow, and then prompt templates as zero, few, COT and TOT. Okay, till now we have completed these things. We have a code base for Grok utilizing LangChain using Grok. Okay, fine. So we are good with this. If you people have any questions relevant to this, please let me know. We have just basic intro of LangChain code base, and we are just building a small AI agents. So this is a kind of small workflows by utilizing different prompt templates. If you are trying to build an AI agent, please try to build. And uh, most of the people during the evaluations I had in Srishwar, the people are just building with the Streamlit or Gradio. My suggestion: try to go with any kind of frameworks like Next.js and React. By that, we can create that as an entire thing. So, my suggestion: if you are building the things, you can go with this code structure. Front end, you can stick with Next.js or React. For the back end, you can use fast API, fast API based environment, or you can go with Flask. Or if you people are well structured in Django, you can also go with that. So my suggestion is going with fast API and Flask and A frameworks as of now we have seen with LangChain. So I'm mentioning that as LangChain. Okay, so LangChain, or if you have understanding of Llama index, LangGraph, and respective stuffs, you can go with this. Okay, so as part of today's agenda, I have the LangChain and prompt templates that has been covered, and we are moving into the next one, which is Llama index. Okay, so on the very next session, we have two more sessions in an upcoming way. So in the next session, we people are going to see LangGraph. One second. So, uh, in live நான் அந்த யூடியூப் சேனல் சொல்லியிருக்கேன்ல Sorry, guys. So actually, my network got dropped. So I'm back again. Okay. So as part of the next section, people are planning to have line graph and replacing vector DBs. And in the very last session, we are seeing about multi-agent frameworks.
Sir, your screen is not visible. Hello.
Sorry, sir. Actually,
Yes, sir.
I'm just sharing it. Okay, I think it's visible now.
Yes, sir. Now it is visible, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So, Landgraph and vector DBs, and this is for the next session. And in the last session, we people are planning to have multi-agent frameworks like Groove AI, where you can able to build multiple agents to work for a single workflow. So, and we will try to cover the AutoGen also. Okay. Okay. So, as part of today's next part, we have a Llama index. So Llama index is the one, it comes under the rack framework. Before starting with that, we can have some introductory section for Llama index. Okay, fine. Introduction to Llama index. We can just have the basic overview. So then we can directly go with our code base. Okay. So what is Llama index? Llama index is a kind of framework that connects large language models with external data. So this is the main point. So I can just go into a new notepad. I can explain in the bilingual way. If you people try to get the things clear, please let me know. Llama index. Okay. During the previous time, so during the previous years like 2020s and 21s, the chat gpt is it booming. Okay, so during that time we don't have an option to upload our documents or the images or relevant external data into the chat gpt to understand the things and provide the answers. Okay, so these are a kind of frameworks. Llama index and relevant steps are the kind of frameworks where it helps us to connect our LLM with the external data. You can just try to think. I'm just uploading the. I just, for example, I'm just saving this as this one. Okay, I just saved this and opening the chat GPT and uploading that file. For example, I'm just taking the basic things. So you can, this is a track based answer. Okay. So we are just uploading one of the document. From this document, it is going to analyze everything inside it and just trying to provide the answers. We have a cloud computing, what is cloud computing explanation into 50 words. So, and we have the LLM workflow, and then we have a RAG based questions and overlap, embeddings, vector DBs, retrieval. I have mentioned the things right here. So clean the text, split the chunk format. For that each and everything, it has been explained in a detailed way. So and then we have a Llama index and system design, loose coupling architecture, and then SLM and LLM workflow, and LangChain workflow, prompt engineering topics, technology stack, and overall purpose. Okay, so we have this entire workflow that's completely belongs to our document. Correct? So in the complete response is belongs to the document which we have uploaded here. Right now we are connecting our external data. This is the one which I have been manually typed and I'm just uploading that to the LLM. Here we are utilizing ChatGPT as an LLM. So and we are asking the questions based on that. So it is providing the answers, right? For example, check the document, or else we can go with the live trial. Okay, so I'm just going to show one of the live trial, and then we people can go with the code base. Okay, I'm just opening a college website, and we can go with center of excellence. Sorry, I'm not making you people to understand. I can just show one of the things. Okay, so I have my name in this in some things. Yeah, so I have the name in this. So what we are going to do, I'm just copying everything. Okay, and I will be creating a new notebook, and I have pasted here, right? So you can see here I have my name. So I'm just going to ask a question: for what event Mr. VeeraKumar has done a session on this, like that. Okay, so I'm just going to ask this. I'm going to save this as the thing, and coe.txt. I'm saving it, going to the chat GPT and opening a new chat and uploading. Sorry. Okay, for example, we can go, what are all the sec- sessions or events handled by VeeraKumar. So ChatGPT doesn't know about VeeraKumar, right? But we are uploading one of the document, and we are asking what all the sessions is handled by VeeraKumar. So it is mentioning the name as event. So it is giving the role and duration and event details in a detailed way, right? So this is the thing. We can connect our LLM to the external data and ask a question. By that, it will be working for us. Okay, so while you people are trying to create anything to our internal systems, please stick with the Llama index, where you can able to connect the your code base or manual workflows. For example, I just even in the recent sessions in our college, I will be sharing this information to the people, to the students who are attending that event. So I'm just sharing the same here too. Okay. So my suggestion for a RAG workflow, what you people can do, just you people are in the second year or third year, right? In an upcoming year, for in the September or in an August, your first year is going to come. So yes, so for example, you people are belongs to CS cluster or mechanical or core cluster, whatever it may be. So you people have your HODs and relevant staff who are expertise in which subject, and what are the labs for your specifically for your department you have. For example, if it is an AIDS, we have RoboSpace, we have Synapse Studio, we have Collab Studio, like that, right? So AIDS or AML. If it is belongs to CSE, we have a different labs. If it is belongs to the IT department, it belongs to different labs, right? So we have a different things. But as a fresher, as a newcomer to a college, they people doesn't know this information. What you people can do, you can prepare a kind of txt document, or you can build that as in a markdown document, and completely provide all the stuffs and infuse all the stuffs. So for CSE department, we have this many labs, and each labs has this many configuration, this many laptops. This one lab can occupy 100 students at one time. So these are all our faculties. They are expertise in this subjects, and first year subjects are this, and second year subjects are this. For this semester, this people is going to handle this subject. Like that, you can entirely fulfill as one kind of MD file or a text file. And by utilizing the Llama Index framework, what we can try to do, we can build a chatbot, and we can create that as a website and share the same with your freshers. By that they can understand entire things about your department in a one go. Okay, for example, as a newcomer, I'm just joining as a first year in your college. Okay, I will be joining in a CS department right now. So I need to know who is a single point of contact for me to ask the questions or any doubts I have relevant to the department. So we have a department HOD. So, but I don't, as a fresher, I don't know who's the HOD of our department, right? Or else in the first year, the people are belongs to the SNS department, which is Science and Humanities, and now from second year itself, they belongs to the CSE. Means at the very first time, at the first year, whom they need to reach. I'm just giving a question to the my chatbot or the people which you people have built. So who's a HOD or a single point of contact I need to reach for this kind of questions. Or else I'm just traveling in the bus. So each in our college we have each and every bus have a bus coordinators. I was traveling from Medpalayam to Essence, our college, Ishwar. So I need to reach the specific person. Or else you can also build a kind of chatbot, drag chatbot for the guest, like me also. So even I have right now I have an experience with the college and I have known about the coordinated details. But for example, for a new change, I was boarding the bus from the different stop. I need to know the coordinator number, but I need to check with the website. I need to check on the different sections, bus column, and who's the coordinator and who's an updated coordinator because we have the things right. So, for example, if we have a kind of this rack chatbot, who's the coordinator for this bus number from this route? Like that, if I'm asking any question to my chatbot, it will directly provide the name of that professor and what is what is their role in the department and what is the role in that specific bus. He is a coordinator or a co-coordinator, whatever it may be, and providing the professor's contact number to reach out to them to get the details and also the driver's number where the bus is coming, like that. So we can build this kind of chatbot which will be helpful for your department too. And this is a live use case also. You can just add it in your project section over your resume. By that it will scale up. Okay, so the even an interview will also get impressed. Okay, if the people are preparing an rack chatbots for the real time pain points. So real pain point they have converting into an AI chatbots. By that, if they are in our system in our company, they can make sure to build some new AI rack chatbots or whatever it may be, right? So they can make the pain points into a working autonomous solutions like that. Okay, so right now I have just shown you an example by utilizing a best UI, ChatGPT's UI. We are just uploading it and I'm asking a question, we are getting an answer. That's fine. How we are going to work in a code base? That is the one we are going to see now. So we have a session till 11:15. So we have a code base. I can just cover on the time. Um, so I have the things. The what are the things I have mentioned here? So that will be covered here. Okay. So the you need to understand the things before starting with the code. What are the core components of Llama Index? The very first one is document loader. As I have uploaded the in means of text document, so you can go with reads data in means of text or PDF or DB. We can integrate the DB into our system or whatever it may be, right? So the first core component is document loader, and the second one is embedding model where it converts the text into vectors. Right now, you people may know, right? So during your school times, you people may understand high level language, low level language. What are the questions or what are the things you people are asking with your computer that will be converted into binary language. And again, if the computer responds to us, that will becomes as a normal English, right? So the same way here, each and every text or the text document which we are going to upload, that will be converted into a vectors where it is mentioned as the embeddings. Okay, so for that we need to utilize some of the embedding models. I have taken one of the best embedding model from Hugging Face. I'm utilizing that. I will be shown in that code. So you can just have a core components right now, which is document loader, and the next one is embedding model. Okay, and the very third is indexing. We are storing that embeddings for faster retrieval. Indexing means, for example, we have mentioned that in means of chunks. So, for example, what are the question? You can just see here in the example. So I have just uploaded the coe.txt file, right? So from here to here, you can just see till here we have entire things, so different stuffs, right? So after that only we have a name of event, who is the resource person. So for example, if I'm asking about events handled by VeeraKumar, it needs to check and find out the relevant chunk, and that has been mentioned with the indexing numbers, and filter out that and provides that name of event and provides the role and relevant steps what are infused over the data. Indexing helps us to provide the faster retrieval of answer from the document or external source of data which you have uploaded. Okay. So and then query engine retrieves the relevant chunks and passes them to the LLM. So right now from the query what I have asked right here, what are the sessions or events handled by VeeraKumar? This is the query I've asked, right? So it has retrieved the information like this one line itself. So this is the one line which relevance to the VeeraKumar, right? So it has taken that relevant data and passes that information to LLM. But what it will after the information pass it to the LLM, it generates the natural language answers from the retrieved context. You can see here, based on the uploaded Center of Excellence data, we have an event. This is an event detail. So if you are asking about different things, I can go and compile. So this is an NLP response that has been generated from the LLM. But the relevant questions answer is this itself, right? So this is the core components of Llama Index. One is document loader, embedding model, and index, query engine, and LLM. The same like in a LangChain, we have seen about the importing OS, prompt template, string output parser, chain, prompt LLM and parser, chain dot invoke, we have an output. Same here in a Llama Index. First, we need to load the document. It goes to the next as embedding, and finally, we are storing that as an index and query engine and LLM. Even though you can also go with the sixth step as string output parser. Why I'm not utilizing the string output parser here means in the previous examples over a line chain, it goes to the internet and check all the informations available there and consolidate the information and provide that to the LLM. So where we have a hashtags or relevant emojis and unstructured data or different data shall be shared over the LLM response, right? So for that fine tuning itself, we have added the string output parser. But in this one, we have predominantly adding a new document, right? So for example, I am finalizing one document and uploading into it. So I also, as per the question asked by Surya Prakash, I have mentioned this workflow too, right? So if you are building any kind of CO text to build into a RAG, a chunk based system, you need to clean the text and split that into a chunk format, adding a overlap, and to store that in the vector DBs, right? So right now my complete text file is being in the cleaned text format. So there is no required for string output parser here. But even though you can also add by that, it will provide the fine-tuned answer the same as the above. Okay, these are the core components and workflows all be the same. So loading the document, breaking into a smaller chunk, it convert the chunk into an embeddings and storing in the vector DB. So what are the vector DB people are going to utilize? That will be stored there. And when the query is asked, it retrieves the relevant chunks from the vector DB and passes the chunk to the LLM, and LLM generates the final accurate answer. So this is the basic overview of Llama Index. We can directly jump into our coding part and just close this. This also 11. Okay, I can just post the same here. So we have a different template. So I have just for the very first go, I have just gone with one of the examples in a manual code base, and the rest of the things we have just changed the agent's goal, right? So this is the new one, which is Llama Index. So I will be starting a manual coding here so people can try to understand. This is even same like the lang chain. I have curated one kind of code pattern that will be very helpful for your interviews and even to understand the Llama Index in the best way. Okay, so you can just open that. Okay, So for this, we are installing a relevant packages. One is Llama Index, a core package, and Llama Index LLMS Grok. We are utilizing the Grok platform here too. So we are installing the relevant package to make sure our LLM platform is Grok. Okay, and the next one we are utilizing the Llama Index embedding Hugging Face. So where we are going to use the embedding model from directly from the Hugging Face itself. Okay, we are not having any embedding models in the Grok side, so I'm utilizing from Hugging Face. So I have installed the package relevant to that, and sentence transformers as basic stuff to give a best answers. So I have installed the sentence transformers packages too. So I can go with the new, so because it may clash with this because it has the line chain, I'm just creating a new sheet for Llama Index. AGENTVERSE Llama Index. Okay, fine. I can just paste the things for installation. It might take some time, so only have installed in a separate way. So during some time it will not provide the answers. Okay, so it will take so. Okay, so what we can do directly, we can just not provide the extra inference. We can check here. Agent was Llama Index. Okay. It takes some time, so I will be explaining some other stuffs right now. So we need not to wait some time for this. Actually, what I have built here, we have a kind of package named as dead end. Okay, so uh, in the Python, where it helps us to build the text file directly in the system. Okay, by utilizing a code. So what I'm just trying to do here, I'm just skipping this because we have already have the cot.txt file. So I'm just mentioning here in a basic way, or else we can just change the content to. I'm parallelly creating a new file in the code base. You can see here, I'm just creating a new directory named as data. So while running this as a previous, we have a sample data alone. Over this, I'm running this code. By that, it will generate a new folder in names of data. Exit OK means if there is already a folder named as data, it skip that one. If it is not there, it creates the new one. Okay, so this is the basic workflow. So and then I'm just creating a new file path in the folder of data. I'm creating a new file named as vk.txt. So or else you can also go with the name as coe.txt. Okay, so by that what will be happen, so while running this code, it will generate the data as a new folder, and it creates the new file name as cot.text inside the data. Okay, in what it mean, this dead end package இது என்ன பண்ணுது அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, while what other content you are posting here, that will be stored inside into it and creates a new file. I will be just copying this entire things. Okay, you can see here. Even it is installing. Oh, it's or else hold on. What we can do? While you are installing all the packages in one go, it may take such big time. I'm just removing this. Command grok and send transformer. Okay. So while running this code, what it will be do means, so it will generate a new directory in means of data, and it creates a new file, and this is the file content. Okay. If it is done, I can just run this cell. That's it taking such more time. Okay, it got installed. So everything got installed. So I'm just copying this code and pasting here. This code's ultimate goal is to generate a directory and the file text. Right now we can able to see here a new folder named as data. Inside that, you can load the file. It's there. In a second. Okay, so you can able to see here. So we had the file name as cot.txt, and if you people are downloading this, you can able to see the same content. Center of excellence. You can see here the same content. Okay. For this, I'm utilizing a from text wrap. I'm importing a deadend where it can able to create the files such as like this. Okay. So we are going to utilize this complete text file for our upcoming coding. So I can directly start with my coding. I will be explaining parallelly. So I will explaining all the things in the manual code part. Okay. So we have installed all the relevant packages and we have the code base, sorry, text external data too. We are just now starting with our code workflow. Okay. So I'm importing the basic stuffs, which is import OS, or else we can just say this as a configuration steps. Configuration or initialization steps. Initialization steps. We're importing the OS from llama index. Whatever the things you have uploaded here, sorry, installed here, we are just calling that down. Llama index Okay, we are importing grok. Then again from llama index dot core, we are importing. Then this we are importing a new interesting one, which is simple directory reader and vector store index. Okay, so simple directory reader helps us to read the files inside the directory. We have created a directory named as data. Inside that only we have the text files, right? So even if you are planning to add in one more text file or MD file inside the same directory, and if you are asking a question, we are configuring in a loose coupling way where it needs to check all the documents inside this folder what we have going to create. Okay, so whatever the files it is inside that, it needs to check all the relevant chunks for the question and needs to answer. We are not sticking with one single file, we are sticking with one single folder. Even it contains hundreds of files, it needs to check all the code and provide the answer. Okay, so for that we are importing the simple directory reader and vector store index for easy retrieval. Okay, and last we are importing llama index dot embeddings dot hugging face import hugging face embedding. Okay, so these are all the initialization steps or an import packages which needs to be get started for the llama index. Okay, it's a basic example. We are going to do the same. I'm just going to querying about what are the session handled by VeeraKumar. It needs to provide the answer named as mastering in envelopes like that. Okay, so but we have seen over the chat GPT. Right now we are going to get the answers same by utilizing the grok platform in means of utilizing the rag framework, which is llama index. Okay, so we have imported everything. As the second part, we are providing our API key. We have imported the OS, so we are going with the os.environ grok API key. I will be pasting my one of the API key here. And the very second, after importing the OS and configuring that, we have a grok. So by that we need to configure our LLM structure. So LLM config. Okay, I'm just giving a name as LLM, and by using this import package grok, I'm utilizing the model. Okay, I can just go with llama 8.1 instant. Sorry guys. Okay, so we have configured our LLM and we have the next step as embedding. People may ask this why simple directory reader and vector store index has been not configured, because we are going to get that file from that directory itself. So there is no configuration required for this stuffs. So we are utilizing the embeddings. Embedding model. I will be just mentioning the name as embed model, and using the import function we need to provide the model name. So I can just take one of the so we are utilizing the sentence transformers model, which is all mini LM model, which is good at converting the English text into an embedding structure. Okay, so I'm utilizing the same model. I just pasted the name here, which has been taken from the Hugging Face, and this comes under the kind of transformer based model, where transformer based model means it is a kind of a Python toolkit where the AI models or SLMs can be downloaded locally, and after that only it takes process. Okay, so people may have a question. So while it is running, so we are utilizing the AP key why the model is getting downloaded. So we are not downloading this model. We are downloading the sentence transformer model, which is an embedding model. To work on that, we doesn't have any embedding models in this. So we are directly going with the local model architecture. Okay. So you can also take this as a multi-model architecture basic example. We are utilizing one of the LLM, and also we are utilizing the SLM. I have mentioned in the previous things, right? Utilizing SLM and LLM workflow. So, as part of this example, we have utilized a translator. As part of this example, we are utilizing the embedding model. Okay, we have configured our embedding model, and we are entering into our main code base. Loading the .txt file. So what we need to do means we need to give the file path. So we have generated the file path as data.cot.txt. We have the file right now. So we are making our AI agent to check this specific file from the drive or the folder. Okay, we are just providing the file path here. And for the documents, right now we are utilizing this simple directory reader for taking the direct documents. We are creating a new documents, like it means, so we are going to store all the entire text in the name of documents. For that, it needs to first access the folder, then only the file. So we are importing the simple directory reader and providing the input file structure. Input files as we have given the name as file path here. I will be pasting here that and load the path. We are just loading the data. Okay. So in this step, what we people are doing means by utilizing the simple data reader, it needs to first access the data, and after that, it needs to access the file path, which is cot.txt, and it needs to load the data. And after loading the data, entire content in the txt file will be saved in the documents. Okay. So right now we have done with our step. We have converted our txt file into the document based thing. So what we people are going to do as the next part. At the very last, we have the vector store index. We are going to configure the same here. Creation of index for the data uploaded. Okay, so I'm just giving a name as indexing. So I'm importing that function vector store index here. So it needs to take the data from documents, and from the documents itself, it needs to convert that into a indexing format, right? So vector store index dot from documents. It needs to check the documents, and the major place is this one. We have embed model Okay, what it will do now. So actually in this step, we are creating an index. Actually, in this documents, we have the same text in an English text, right? So the text which we have right now here, that will be stored in the format of documents, right? So we are importing our embedding model. By that, for each content, it has been converted into a vectors or embeddings in this step and created an index. We have a relevant indexing numbers and relevant embedding data for each and every data provided inside the content. Okay, so inside the file. Okay, so right now we have done our step. We have uploaded our file and stored in the means of documents, and we have converted the document data into an embedding model, embedded data, by utilizing the sentence transformer model. Okay, that will be stored right now in the index, and we are ready to go with the question query. So for that, we are creating a query engine. I'm just giving a same name again. That's a query engine. Okay, so this is the very first last step. The entire thing will be stored right now in the index, right? So index dot as query engine LLM. So whatever the question we people are going to ask, that will be asked in the query engine, and it will check with the index, and that will be passed to our LLM. Okay, we have a core workflow, right? We have seen that already. We have document loader, we have loaded it. Embedding model, we have configured that. So we have created an index too. Right now we are configuring with the engine, query engine. It retrieves the relevant chunks and passes them to the LLM. So this step has been configured right now. Query engine index is the one where it contains the document data and the embedded data also, and we are providing that to the LLM to create the enhanced answer, right? So right now, what we are going to do, we are in a final phase Q&A. I'm just creating as a response query engine dot creating a new query. I will just paste the same. What are the sessions handled by VeeraKumar? Okay, so and I'm just printing it. Okay, what we have done so far means we have initialized all the things. We have imported the grok directory and vector store index, and same as the Hugging Face embeddings. We have initialized our API key, and we have configured our LLM, which is Llama 3.1. Over the ChatGPT's interface, we are utilizing the GPT-4 model, which is backed by OpenAI. So right now here we are utilizing the grok-based model, which is Llama 3.1, and it will be converted as embeddings in this place, creation of index. And while you can able to see here, I already mentioned this is the transformer based model. It will be downloaded locally, and you can see here Mr. VeeraKumar has been handled one of the session. The session is titled as mastering in MLOps. Okay, so during this, till this step actually, okay, till this step it just provide the answer. VeeraKumar handled one session, not even handle one session, just just this line itself. Sorry. This is the only answer which has been generated till this step. Okay, so by utilizing this query engine, creation of query engine, and we are passing that to an LLM, so it is creating an NLP based answers. Mr. VeeraKumar, associate, has handled one session. The session is titled as. You can able to understand, feel the NLP based responses, right? So we can also have You can see here what is the email ID stated in that. What is the email ID that I need to reach for questions? Once it has been loaded, it will not load again. It just load the weights. You can see here. This is the thing. Provide the COE address. They just provide the COE address here also. Okay. So even if you people have the different stuffs, you can go ahead and upload the same as a .txt file, and while you are asking a questions, it will generate the things. My suggestion is to build this as a web-based framework, and you can build that for your department, and you can also share that with your students, and try to build this in means of cloud-based one, or you can also go with Google Docs, for example. Can go with the Google Docs. By that, we have a cloud-based things. For example, as of today's content, I will be uploading this, right? So after the new one, I'm just trying to. I have got the new content means I will be just copying this and pasting that. By that, my RAG model can automatically check the data, new data, and train it accordingly, and it can provide the new results also. You can just depends with the one single txt file. It's completely one-time solution. So for a specific content inside that document will be answered. If you are going with the cloud-based things, you can manually add entire data and the new time. Even you can also delete the same. By that, the chatbot's answers will be reflected as part of your questions. Okay. So we can also say this as a training agent or a learning agents. We have seen in the very first day, learning agents are the one it checks with the recent data over an internet and provide the new results. Same like so and yeah, so we have completed our part for the llama index. So even I will be having two more codes left for the llama index. We have the code based CRUD based operations utilizing the llama index framework. So what we can do, we can go with this in the next type, the next session, and we can start with the next data agenda, which is lang graph and then vector DBs. I have mentioned, yeah. So lang graph and vector DBs in the very next session, and then the last session we'll be planning for multi-agent frameworks like GrooveAI and AutoGen. Okay. So if you have any questions, you people may directly post that. And yes, sir, over to you. So the session has been completed.
Okay. Okay. So if you have any queries, you can post it in the chat. So post the session, we'll share the feedback form. So I want everyone to share the feedback form. Thank you, sir. So thanks for the time. So we can meet on the
Thank you,
next
sir.
session.
Sure, sir.
Sure,
Thank you
sir.
so
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. So keep practicing.